Developing now as we come on the air, left for dead just hours after Christmas.
He was a good guy.
A bicyclist mowed down in the middle of the street. Tonight, his best friend's message for that driver who didn't even bother to stop.
And what do the president, Mar-a-Lago, and a giant inflatable have in common? It all comes together in a matter of hours.
Flying Ferrari, the moment the expensive sports car goes off a dock and into the Palm Beach inlet. Tonight, the video that has some scratching their heads.
CBS 12 News starts now.
Now at 11, from whipping winds to warmer temperatures, taking a live look in West Palm Beach tonight as we head into the final weekend of 2018.
Can't believe it's here, but the question tonight, will the weather cooperate? CBS 12 chief meteorologist Erin Christensen live in studio tonight. And Erin, what's it going to be?
Well, you know, you guys have been talking about warm, wet, and windy for the past 2 days, but we are definitely going to shake this wind. I don't know about the wet from a humid standpoint, though. That is going to hang on. 94% humidity. Oh, is it sticky out there? And certainly going to stay warm, 75 degrees right now. So let's take a look at what we have on tap for tomorrow. And you can see the time here at the bottom, 10 a.m., 79 degrees by 1 to 4 o'clock. That is when we'll have the peak heat of the day, right around 81 degrees or so. And that is when our wind will strengthen, but only to 11 miles per hour. So we'll finally get rid of the strong wind, but we will hold on to that humidity. Although our chance for rain just 20% tomorrow, 10% Sunday, and staying 5 to 10 degrees above normal for West Palm, 81 tomorrow, 80 for our Sunday. And coming up, how you can spot the New Year star as you're ringing in 2019.
Right now, a search for the heartless driver who mowed down a bicyclist and left him in the road dying. Tonight, his loved ones are begging for that driver to do the right thing.
That's right. The 50-year-old victim crossing South Dixie Highway in Lake Worth when he was killed. CBS 12's Luli Ortiz live at the scene in Lake Worth tonight. Luli, you got to imagine how hard this is for the family, especially during the holidays.
Well, tonight, deputies say that 50-year-old man, he was on his bike and he was crossing here on South Dixie Highway when he was hit and killed by the driver who just took off. Now, I do want to point out that there is no crosswalk here along South Dixie Highway. Now, I spoke to the victim's best friend earlier today. Obviously, he's just so heartbroken about this whole situation. And he says he has a message for the killer who is still out there tonight.
He called me his brother. Said brother from another mother.
Johnny Bogan, with tears in his eyes, says he knew the victim, identified tonight as 50-year-old Richard Watson for 10 years.
He was a good guy.
He received the devastating phone call from police late last night, telling him Watson was struck and killed by a driver while crossing South Dixie Highway in Lake Worth.
Said that he was dead, dead in the middle of the road. My old lady woke me up, babe, put your clothes on. They said Rich dead.
How did you feel when you heard that devastating news?
Empty. I feel empty.
A CBS 12 News viewer shared this video of PBSO investigators on scene after Watson was ejected and pronounced dead on scene. The driver took off.
You just gonna run over a man, you don't stop, you keep going. Why you didn't stop and help him?
There are still crime scene markers along South Dixie Highway from PBSO investigators, and a search for Watson's killer continues tonight. As for Bogan, he has a message for that driver who didn't stop to help his best friend.
Do me a favor. Whoever did it, turn yourself in.
And tonight, PBSO deputies, they obtained surveillance video from this quick stop grocery store right behind me in hopes to piece together exactly what happened. Now, they do believe the car involved is possibly a 2012 to 2016 Chevy Malibu. Anyone with information, they're urged to call PBSO or Crime Stoppers of Palm Beach. That number is 1-800-458-TIPS. We're live tonight in Lake Worth. I'm Luli Ortiz, CBS 12 News.
Thank you, Luli. Now, this is the third hit-and-run incident this week. One early Sunday in Lantana that killed Christopher Morales Noventi of Green Acres. Later that day, a 53-year-old Belle Glade man, A.D. Coley, was thrown from his motorcycle in suburban West Palm Beach. And a fourth incident earlier this month, 20-year-old Asia McClave was hit and killed by a speeding car outside of FAU.
Right now, no deal in sight. Tonight, the Capitol is empty as we head into day 8 of the partial government shutdown. And it appears the back and forth will be handed off to a divided government to solve in the new year. The president has threatened to shut down the entire southern border if congressional Democrats don't give him funding for the wall. And White House officials say he means it. The president miles away from his typical holiday vacation here in Palm Beach as he deals with all those negotiations.
Still, protesters are planning to send him a strong message tomorrow. CBS 12's Vincent Crivelli kicking off our team coverage live near Mar-a-Lago tonight. And Vince, it all involves a giant rat.
That's right, Paul and Maxine. Tomorrow, a 12-foot rat will be cruising around Mar-a-Lago. The man driving it says it's a call for President Donald Trump to resign. Claude Taylor is on what some would call a mission to catch your eye. He's inflating a 12-foot rat.
Then it takes about a minute.
But this isn't just any rat. It's custom designed to look like President Donald Trump.
He has artificial yellow hair.
Grotesque fingernails, cell phone in hand, and a heart tattoo inside the name Putin.
Vladimir Putin apparently seems to own Donald Trump.
Taylor is the chair of Mad Dog PAC, which is the group responsible for putting up the Impeachment Now billboard on Southern Boulevard. Today, he drove from the D.C. area to show off the Trump caricature.
The message to Donald Trump is resign now.
Tomorrow, Taylor says he's taking his inflatable rat on a boat ride with fellow protesters around Mar-a-Lago.
Lots of people in downtown Palm Beach will get a physical representation of Donald Trump, the rat.
President Trump won't be at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow, but Taylor says that won't stop his mission.
I think they get the point across that there's real opposition in the community throughout this country to Donald Trump.
And Taylor plans to cruise the Intercoastal from 11 o'clock in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. Again, President Donald Trump won't be here because he's up in D.C. working to end the government shutdown. Reporting live in Palm Beach, Vincent Crivelli, CBS 12 News.
Vince, thank you. And this shutdown has a lot of people talking.
CBS 12's Chuck Weber continues our team coverage tonight with how the shutdown will affect you.
You know, we've been fielding lots of questions about the shutdown. Today downtown here, though, we got very few questions and a whole lot of comments.
Absolutely, they need to get together and come up with a plan to secure the border.
People are talking about the partial shutdown of the federal government.
Over some kind of ridiculous muscle flexing.
Whether it's a wall or a fence, set up nursing stations, something. You know, we want to know who's coming in.
It's this kind of sentiment that has President Trump digging in, insisting on $5 billion for a border wall. But so far, Democrats have pushed back.
I don't believe that most of the public would want a government shutdown over a wall.
We hear the word shutdown, yet many federal agencies are without impact. Congress had already approved funding for about 3/4 of the federal government. But at 9 departments, the funding ran out at the end of last week, putting nearly 400,000 workers on furlough and a slightly larger number of employees considered essential currently working without pay.
If they're non-essential, why do we have them to begin with? So, I mean, that's kind of I'm more of a libertarian, so I don't think we should have an extremely large federal government.
I think it's really unfortunate and unnecessary because there are thousands of government employees going out without pay during the holiday season, and it's hard for them.
Now, a lot of people have asked about mail delivery. Well, that's one of the areas that is funded. We are still getting our mail. In West Palm Beach, Chuck Weber, CBS 12 News.
President Trump says he has no plans to attend the annual New Year's Eve party at Mar-a-Lago this year. First Lady Melania, their son Barron, daughter Ivanka, and her husband Jared Kushner, along with Donald Jr., all at Mar-a-Lago tonight, though. Members and guests at the club shelled out more than $1,000 per ticket for a chance to party with the president.
Breaking news happening right now. A 5-year-old little girl in critical condition after falling from a 4th-floor balcony happening in Lauderhill. Girl was in the care of her older 17-year-old sister while her mother ran to the store. There's the balcony right there. Unclear right now how the girl went over the railing. Of course, we will continue to track this breaking story on our CBS 12 News app. Saying goodbye to his 4-legged partner who put his life on the line to save his fellow deputies. A Palm Beach County Sheriff's canine handler kisses the casket of his partner, Sigo, for the last time before going into the funeral home. One of the men arrested in the Christmas Eve shootout at the Wellington Mall where Sigo was killed being held without bond behind bars tonight. Justin Vasquez being charged with an accessory to attempted murder after a shooting near a West Palm Beach bar last month. Now, on Monday night, sheriff's deputies went to the mall with arrest warrants for both Vasquez and the accused gunman, Giovanni Ramos Alvarez. A detective says Vasquez surrendered at the mall, but Ramos did not. Now, according to the sheriff's office, Ramos is the one who opened fire, killing Siga. And as the community continues to mourn the loss of the hero canine, there will be a memorial service on Thursday, June 10th at 10 a.m. It'll be at the Coral Sky Amphitheater in West Palm Beach.
New video now of the moment a very expensive car flies off the dock and into the Palm Beach Inlet. This police dashcam video shows a Ferrari on the dock Wednesday morning. You can see an officer approach the vehicle, talk to the driver, but then the driver backs up and seconds later, splash, floors it right into the intercoastal. Wow. The car sank close to 30 feet underwater, but the driver was able to get out. Still not clear why he did it, though. Divers had to attach lift bags to bring the car back to shore.
Next at 11 tonight, a close call caught on camera. A police officer narrowly misses getting hit by a train, the one thing he did to avoid death.
It's a very painful sting.
A poisonous creature washing up on our shores. The scary threat to beachgoers tonight, what you should be on the lookout for.
And this front has brought on blizzards and freezing rain and flooding rain across the country. Why in the world it is not going to ruin our weekend? Coming up.
Alpha Media radio stations, proud partners of the CBS 12 News Network, the one to turn to.
Mother of murdered college student Molly Tibbetts has taken in a relative of her daughter's accused killer. The Washington Post reporting today that not long after her 20-year-old daughter was found stabbed to death, Laura Calderwood welcomed a 17-year-old undocumented Mexican teenager into her home. Now, that teen once lived and worked with a man facing charges in Molly's death. Tibbetts, of course, went missing while out for a jog in July. Her body found a month later in a cornfield. We'll talk about a close call. If this doesn't make you look both ways at a rail crossing, it will make you look next time. Yeah, an Illinois police officer narrowly escaping death. Look at this, coming just inches from being hit by an oncoming passenger train after the crossing guard rails failed to come down in time. The officer had to swerve across the median to avoid being hit. And meantime, he wrote in a Facebook post, he's had very little luck in his life, but says all his luck was used all at once here. And he's okay if he never wins anything again.
Next week, another potential key figure in special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation heads to court, but this time he's the one filing the lawsuit. That's right. And tonight, reporter Jerome Corsi is suing the special counsel's office as well as other government agencies, accusing them of forcing him to lie. Our national correspondent Christine Frazao now has more on what he hopes to accomplish.
We went into the special prosecutor.
Jerome Corsi says he had planned to cooperate.
I turned over my computers, my laptops, my external hard drives, which had the backup of those computers. I turned in my cell phone.
Critics call Corsi a conspiracy theorist who challenged President Obama's U.S. citizenship and believes Adolf Hitler escaped Nazi Germany alive. Corsi is also an associate of Roger Stone. Stone, a Trump advisor, is being investigated by the special counsel's office. At issue is whether Corsi knew about emails WikiLeaks had meant to harm Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, and whether he lied about it speaking to prosecutors.
These two emails that I'd forgotten about in 2016, one of which was from Roger Stone. He said, basically, somebody ought to go see Assange.
Corsi tells TV host Armstrong Williams he had simply forgotten about that exchange and amended his testimony upon reviewing old emails, now calling himself a, quote, political prisoner in Robert Mueller's witch hunt.
They can put me in prison the rest of my life if they want to. I'm 72 years old. 1 year in prison might kill me, but I will not swear to God that I committed a crime that I did not commit.
He's taking action in a $350 million lawsuit in which he names Robert Mueller, the Department of Justice, the FBI, NSA, and CIA, accusing the special counsel's office of demanding he lie and of leaking information about him to the press and of conducting illegal surveillance on him.
Special counsel Robert Mueller and other federal agencies actually asked that the hearing for this lawsuit be postponed due to the partial government shutdown. But the judge denied that request, and as of now, it's scheduled to take place right here at federal court on Thursday. In Washington, I'm Christine Frazao.
Well, right now, a scene too familiar. Dozens of dead fish are floating near the St. Lucie Lock. Scientists at FAU Harbor Branch aren't sure what caused the fish kill, but they say there are a number of possibilities. One of them could be a good thing, since the freshwater from Lake Okeechobee isn't being released into the St. Lucie estuary. There's more salt in the water, and freshwater fish couldn't survive the salt water. Well, they look harmless, but they could possibly kill you. Right now, man-o-war washing up on our beaches, posing a severe threat to everyone there. The man-o-war is a purple-blue colored balloon type of organism found in the ocean that floats. They have tentacles that hang down, and they can cause a nasty sting.
And we have issues with small children not knowing, wanting to pop them, and that can cause the parts of the tentacle to get on a small child and sting them.
So stay away. Man-o-war have been spotted at Juneau Beach. Lifeguards say if you do get stung, rinse off the area with fresh water, and you may need to use the edge of a credit card to scrape off the tentacles from your skin.
Possible health trouble for Boca native and singing sensation Ariana Grande, the 25-year-old, canceling a Las Vegas performance just days before New Year's, even due to unforeseen health reasons. Grande originally scheduled to perform at the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas on Saturday. Now, tonight it's unclear what health problems she's dealing with. Grande has had a very busy year with songs at #1 on the Billboard chart, 2 Grammy nominations, a breakup, and the death of her ex-boyfriend, Mac Miller. Well, Frosty lovers rejoice. Wendy's is now offering a year's worth of the delicious frozen treat for guess how much? Just $2. Yeah, the fast food chain selling a Frosty key tag, which lets customers snag a junior-sized Frosty at a limit of 1 a day for a year. Sales of the key tag will benefit the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. The promotion runs until January 31st.
I'm going to need a free gym membership, too.
A free gym membership, right?
See every day for a year.
You know what? And I was just about to say, hey, guys, I got to go now.
Right?
Is there a Wendy's in the area that's still open?
I'm sure there is.
Probably
Somewhere.
so. You know what? The Frosties sound pretty
Google.
good with our temps well above normal, don't you think?
That's true. And, you know, I get, hot-blooded all the time, so I could definitely use something cold, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's give you a look at that weather as we head through the weekend, the final weekend of 2018. Our pressure pump continues. We've been watching this system moving across the United States all week and starting to bring on that rain across the panhandle. But this has been bringing us more wind than anything else, as this pressure pump of sorts with the area of low pressure associated with the cold front pushing to the east. We've got that clockwise flow of the high pushing back against it to the west, and that high pressure, by the way, is really holding its own here because it's pushing back against that front enough that it's not going to advance much through Florida. It is, however, going to keep that humid air moving in our direction as we head through the weekend. We've got that humid air coming in from the Gulf, humid air coming in from the Atlantic, and it's all being stuck in this bubble here between the two areas of pressure. They're kind of playing bumper cars. So expect to feel that humidity as we head through the weekend, but we're not going to see much in the way of rain. Our temperatures are certainly going to stay on the warm side. Look at where they are the highs today in the 80s across Florida. Then clearly you can see where that cold air lies. The backside of that cold front, 8 degrees in Fargo, 22 Denver, 30 in Albuquerque. Look at Phoenix. Even Phoenix had a high in the 50s today. Certainly feeling the effects of that cold air trough. Now the final weekend of 2018 for West Palm Beach still does hold the promise of temperatures 5 to 10 degrees above normal. 81 for our Saturday, 80 on Sunday, and a lot of you want to know about that wind tapering off from the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So some improving conditions if you do want to spend it on the water. The advisories have all been lifted, so some good news there. The seas are going to come down a little bit, 2 to 3 feet, so that's not too bad. Certainly navigatable here on Sunday with 2 foot waves rather, and there is a moderate risk of rip currents, so just keep that in mind if you're going to do some swimming. You have to swim at your own risk. As we look ahead to New Year's Eve, 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., 75 degrees, 74 at 9 and 10 o'clock, then 73 at 11, and then at midnight, 72, and mostly clear skies, just a 10% chance for rain. So perfect conditions for going out right after you ring in the new year. At midnight, you can check out Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, and it's easy to spot here. You can find Orion's belt. A lot of us can find that, and then you just want to follow that sort of angle, that line down down, you'll see the really bright star that is his dog hunting companion. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast for the weekend's always in view. We are expecting our temperatures to stay right around 80 degrees all the way through the first week of the new year. Coming up, John Evanson has that all-important Orange Bowl information. CBS 12 News at 11. Be right back.
South Florida Honda Sports Report.
Well, both the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers know what it's like to have the best in the game leave them high and dry. But including those most recent LeBron James years in Cleveland, the Heat looking for their 15th straight home win against the Cavs tonight. Justice Winslow, a big reason why the Heat have won 7 of 10 coming into the game. Misses the 3 right there, but Josh Richardson saves the rebound to Rodney Magruder. Drainage from deep. Cleveland was leading for way too long. Late first half, Winslow drives and scores the layup off the glass. Very nice. Then it's Winslow with some thievery onto Bam Adebayo. Break in for the bam dunk. Winslow leads the way with 24 points, 11 rebounds. Heat crushed the Cavs 118-94. We saw an absolutely terrible offensive display at Hard Rock Stadium last Sunday between the Jaguars and Dolphins. The Orange Bowl should cleanse the field of all that. A battle between two of the top collegiate quarterbacks in the country. Newly crowned Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray will lead 4th-ranked Oklahoma into Miami Gardens, looking for an upset over Alabama and their elite QB, Tua Tagovailoa, the Heisman Trophy runner-up. But, you know, you can't ask for much better than that on this field, especially after what we saw on Sunday. Fittingly that the two top collegiate offenses are going head-to-head as well.
We've got a dynamic offense that is really challenging for any team. They've had, you know, great success all year long. This is the kind of games that I think that, you know, players that are great competitors love to play in.
Hey, meanwhile, Peach Bowl win tomorrow at Atlanta for the 10th-ranked Gators over 7th-ranked Michigan, led by their head coach, of course, Jim Harbaugh, would be icing on the cake for what has been an incredible turnaround season for the Gators. But first-year Gators head coach Dan Mullins knows it will be extremely challenging venturing against a multi-talented Wolverines team.
You watch the physicality, the strain in which they play with, how hard they play, not just on offense and defense, in special teams. Probably the best special teams team we faced this year. They are very sound. They are very disciplined. But beyond that, the intensity and how hard they play is evident on film when you watch Michigan.
What a day for bowl games tomorrow. We'll have them covered. The Peach Bowl kicks off in Atlanta at noon. Meanwhile, we'll see if the Dolphins can fix some of their offensive problems this Sunday. Their final chance to do it. Their season finale, Bills and Dolphins, kick off at 1 o'clock right here on CBS 12. Of course, we'll have the Fins final finale on Sunday night as well, guys.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, John. We'll be right back with your wake-up weather.
Wake up weather Saturday morning anywhere from 70 to 75 degrees. Wow, a warm one, no doubt. Partly sunny skies and sunrise 7:08 with the wind finally weakening from the southeast about 5 to 10 miles per hour.
All right. Well, finally tonight, a mother-to-be welcomes her baby in a unique way. Take a look.
Can you hear that music pumping hard like I wish you would? Now push it. Push it real good.
Having way too much fun. Well, her family broke out into Salt and Peppa's Push It in the delivery room earlier this month as she waited to do yet that very act. And just 10 minutes later, guess what? She welcomed her healthy baby girl into the world. The song worked.
Okay, but the song may have worked, but where is the doctor in all of this?
The doctor's the one doing the Facebook Live, I bet you.
Yeah, you're right.
I think
Multi-talented.
so.
Wait, is that the doctor right there?
No, holding the phone, the camera, I bet you.
I tried to sing that song when my daughter was born, and my wife just looked at me and
She
said,
wasn't having it.
"Knock it off!" Trying to give birth here.
Well, your wife and I are going to have to talk later on. Thanks, John. Thanks, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. Join Kristen Chapman tomorrow morning starting at 5 a.m.
Remember, the news is always on at CBS12.com. Have a wonderful weekend.
Indeed.
Push it real good.
Nah, 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 nah.
You guys.